girl, Mother in the New Millennium. I'm back with another video, a brand new video, and today I want to touch something. Just a disclaimer, you will hear my kids in the background. I do have 2 children, so I'm real about it. I want to touch on a base that's very important to me, and that is mental health. I believe on a lot of different levels, both personally, physically, mentally, all together as one for yourself. Whether you're a mother, whether you're a teen, whether you're a college student, whether you're, a grandmother, it doesn't matter who you are. Mental health is a major key in life. And if you don't have your mental health in check, you're not going to really get too far. You're pretty much going to have a lot of issues in certain areas. You're not going to know how to deal with people. You're not going to know how to, deal with a lot because mentally you're just not there. You're not capable. You have too much going on upstairs before you can deal with everything going on in real life. But we'll get to that. We're going to touch on everything that factors in and just stay tuned. Okay, so my 3 steps are ORG, O-R-G, organization, realization, and growth. Those are the 3 things I use to get ahead in my life. So today we're going to talk about you want to tell them? So today we're going to talk about my 3 steps of, losing frustration in your life, losing, everything that's making you stress out, being able to relax, take things with, a grain of salt and just run with the wind and get your life going in the direction it should be. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first factor that comes to play is, what are you doing? Meaning, are you organized? If you're not organized in your life, how are you going to be organized in everything you do each day? Are you organized in your work? Are you organized when you wake up? Are you organized to a routine? Are you organized with your schedule? Are you just period, everything, you know what I mean? Are you organized? If you can't organize even a shelf in your room, how are you going to be able to organize how you deal with people? Everything. You can't. So the main factor number 1 is going to be organized. So when it comes to that, you pretty much have to set aside time. Write things out. You know what I mean? Buy a calendar. Put what dates are important to you on a calendar. Buy a planner. Buy 2 planners. Keep one for professional. One for professional. One for personal. And keep them with you, so that way if you have appointments, you can schedule your appointments. If you have somewhere to be, if you have plans, if you know you need to make a dentist appointment, then you know that you've made it, or write on your calendar that you need to call. Like, once you organize yourself, your own routine, and your life, it's going to take a little bit of weight off of your shoulders to where you don't feel like you're so panicked. You don't feel as if, you're rushed with time. You can figure things out. You can see how much time you have before. Hey, we're going to share. Once you've figured out your way of organization and how it works for you, and what works for you to be able to set your schedule straight and get things done, you go from there. And that's where we get to step 2. Okay, so the next step is realization. Meaning, you need to realize, what are you doing that is a bad habit? What plays as a bad habit? Are you going to work knowing you need to go home and do dishes? You come home from work and I'll do the dishes later. So now they're piling up because I'm going to do them later is a thought in your head, a process you're so comfortable with. You have to get out of the habit of being comfortable. realize that the habits you're doing, the habits you have, are playing a role on why you're not getting anything done, on why things are playing out there the way they are. You know what I mean? Realize that the people around you sometimes aren't for you. Realize that let me touch base on that one more time. Realize the people in your circle, not all of them are for you. Realize the people you hang around, I'm shaking. Realize the people you hang around sometimes do not have the best interest at heart for you. Some don't want to see you succeed higher than them. Some don't want to see you do better than them. Some don't want to applaud you and be proud of you, because why? They cannot get to the point where you are. So that's step 2. Realize what's going on around you. Realize what you need to change. Realize the people you need to keep and get rid of. Because without organization and realization, you're just stuck in a sense of nothing. You're stuck just thinking and wondering and saying, what if? Once you come to terms with realizing, the people who have to go, then you start realizing a lot of situations you wouldn't have ever been in. You start realizing how much more money you can save, how much, more you could be at home, or how much more you could enjoy being with your loved ones, how much more you could enjoy being with the friends that are actually basically family. So then once you start doing organization and realization, you get into your 3rd step, which is growth. Now, once we get into growth, it's not just going to take off. It's not just going to take flight like a plane. Growth comes with a lot of different circumstances of mental growth, physical growth, personal growth, relationship growth, communication growth. You have so many different aspects of it. It's more of figuring out which one do you need to work on. I mean, if you're not communicating well with others, then you want to work on that growth, because as you get older and as you get wiser and things going on, younger people come to you for advice, or your siblings come to you for advice, or your friends, and you have to be able to communicate on an adult level and not a child's level. So that would be considered good growth. That would be considered communication growth. You want to be able to communicate like an adult rather than a child, because now that you're older, now that you're experiencing more adult experiences, you're, having to make more decisions, that takes play into your growth, and that's good. You want to be able to communicate and have conversations and debates, not arguments and attitudes and frustration. You don't want to work out of that with people. You want your communication to be 100% key. And sometimes it may be someone who's not in your forte of what you like, but you may communicate well with that person because you can have a great conversation. A good conversation makes a great friend sometimes, or a great person to even just speak to. Now let's touch base on mental growth. How about we do something more like, I'm so lost right now, but I'm trying. Let's try mental growth on relations to how we think about certain situations that we get in. Say you have a flat tire, or say, someone starts with you at work. Mental growth would be to not even respond when someone wants to include you into some sort of life drama, or someone wants to include you into some sort of altercation that has nothing to do with you, but they just want you to be on their side. A lot of times, a lot of those things are and should be left alone. If it does not involve me and it's not putting me in harm's way, mental growth is I'm leaving it alone. Now, mental growth for a flat tire would be, okay, I have free time, so maybe let me try to, figure out or watch videos on how to change a tire, or maybe keep things prepared that way if I have someone with me who knows how, or if I have AAA, I could call AAA, or just be prepared in advance. Have a spare tire in your trunk. You know what I mean? Have the tools just in case you don't have anyone to call. You can do it, or you can try to do it, or find someone who can do it. You know what I mean? Call a friend. So that would be mental growth for something of like a flat tire. Mental growth for certain situations of if you have kids, prepare. Always prepare in advance. Okay, I have to go on a trip for like 4 days. Let me prepare at least 2 weeks in advance of clothing. I'm all for, self-help. I'm all for let's help each other and build each other up. That's just the type of person I am. I get calls from people sometimes who didn't like me in the past, but they want advice. And I'm like, I don't know everything, but I can try to help. I'm no Dr. Phil. I'm not certified. I'm not a doctor. I just give advice based on common sense sometimes, but I also give advice on certain situations. Some situations call for the hard truth. Some situations call for, sugarcoating a little bit. It just depends on the person. It depends on the situation. And sometimes you just have to roll with what you're given. Roll with, trying to uplift somebody who needs that help. All right, guys. I've spoke enough. I think if you've gotten something from this, great. If not, I'm sorry, I couldn't help. I hope everyone stays wonderful, stays beautiful, stay you. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Everybody deserves to have a wonderful week. Stay kind, stay blessed. Just be a good person. Be a good human being. It can make such a difference. And I'm sure you'll see that. All right, for now, I'll see you guys later. It's nap time in this house.